Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
Watch him now, Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side. Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, complete. It's Stone. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And now out comes Minnesota. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together. And I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
They've got to do a better job up front and create some space because they're right there, almost literally on their own goal line.
Just a couple of feet away from a safety. That could have been. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. A safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? The turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into 1st downs and hopefully points.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Finding some room at midfield. He's got his man on the crossing route. And finally brought down at the 43. A good pickup there at 22. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. 95 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
All right, here we go.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now back to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
They'll set up to throw. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. They'll look to throw here. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if, in fact, they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the 2nd quarter. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. This time, Jackson will throw it. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Holding, offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Back to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on third. He'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. They'll throw now on the final play. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone, as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. He spins free.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Now they try the right side here. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
On third down, it's Carpenter. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And now Jackson will look to throw it. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level and quick. Make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 49 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. they'll run it on the toss. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A nice gain of 21 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
What part did they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on 1st down puts them back on their heels.
Let's go!
Now they'll run it on the toss, and they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That'll go as a loss of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, that's a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Carlson able to put this one through. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Minnesota defense, we watch them get set to roll. They've played excellent. Another stop here, that would just be the icing on the cake.
You definitely want to finish things off the way it's gone throughout the day, and it's gone awfully well for them. They don't want to give up any type of a fluke, any type of a big play here. That'll leave a bad taste in their mouth as they go in and celebrate.
Yeah, they want that good cake taste, right?
No doubt about it. That's 6-layer cake.
This quarterback now, 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
3-19. 3-19.
Looking to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship. And now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.